Good morning, everyone. My goodness me, it is the day after announcement day of Evergreen, and I took a very, very calm and quiet walk in the countryside here because that was exciting, wasn't it, Goosey? You want your breakfast, so that must be first things first. Come on. You go, Porter. Then you go, Barkley. Yes, I'm actually about to make my breakfast as well. It was really funny, actually. Oh, I'm going to try not to get emotional. Oh my gosh, that's so weird. Oh, so weird. But my publicist, Charlotte, messaged me last night and she was like, how do you feel? And it was so interesting because as everything was announced, I was actually in the textile place nearby where they did the blinds and the puff and things like that in my dressing room because I'm planning for the guest bedroom. And I was in there and I was just continuing on with my day and just getting things done and not having my mind completely consumed. God, it's making me emotional. This is so weird. Oh gosh. I pushed the story live and just carried on, went into the garden centre, looked at some plants and just carried on with my day, and then went home and shared it properly on Instagram. But it was just so nice for that to be a calm experience. I wasn't looking to be excited or, I didn't want it to be adrenaline fueled. I just wanted that calmness. So yes, a really, really interesting experience, but a beautiful one. This is the book that I wish I'd read when I was little. And the fact that I've been able to create this and put this out into the world, we just want to make sure that that's what now comes across, because, the dressing and the recipes and that kind of thing is such a small part of this book. And I hope that the snippet that I shared over on my Instagram, I've shared a paragraph of me reading it, and that paragraph just hits me in the chest every single time. However, I'm looking like an utter scrot because I haven't washed my hair. I've got a hair mask on the top layer of my hair at the moment, which I need to wash out. I need to make breakfast because in celebration I'm taking my team to the ballet in the Cotswolds, I believe we're going. So this is like an outdoor ballet experience with, I think it's the Covent Garden Dance Company. I will pop all of the details in the description box down below. But yes, it's a really beautiful affair. We're all getting dressed up. We're definitely going to be celebrating and popping champagne and just as a team, because like I said, and I really want to get this across, and I keep reminding the girls on this as well, is that this is incredibly important that you know that this is a team thing for us, and without their support and their help, this book wouldn't have happened. I'm just gonna let Porter out because he needs to relieve himself very clearly. I do actually have to transform myself into my more glamorous self and not be in my my usual attire, which is a bow-fitting flake shirt, some leggings and a tank top and not so great hair. But yeah, so I've got a really lovely day planned, and after that pretty much it's just a bit of a quiet weekend as well. Ali is on a trip that I sadly could not go on because of obviously this launch. But it has been, yeah, it's just amazing. So I need to choose my outfit today as well. But I also have to show you something. So I'm going over to our little section here because these are some of the very first Millen Gordon eggs. So we had a couple of chickens join us, well, 3 chickens join us a while ago. We've been letting them settle in, getting the other animals sorted and used to them and getting them settled in. Barkley and Lumi, just not interested. They don't care, super not fussed. Porter took a few days to calm down. He really turned a corner yesterday, which I'm just still flabbergasted over, to be honest, because we thought this was going to be a bit more of a longer road, but I think that he realised that we'd created a side garden for them to go into, and he wasn't allowed in his garden anymore because his behaviour wasn't good enough to begin with, and so now he has rectified that on his own terms, and I'm so proud of him. So yes, I'm going to make myself my own eggs on toast. I think this is either Jemima or Bluebell that is laying these eggs. Chives from my kitchen garden, eggs, sourdough toast. That is going to be my breakfast for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to get cracking. Pardon the pun. Some freshly picked chives from the kitchen garden to top the eggs perfectly. Isn't that right, Porty? Come on, my boy. My sweet peas from Le Manoir have sprouted. These were given to me by August, and they just look so good. But next to them is my bowl, well, my tub of corn. This is where I keep a little tub of corn for the girls, and I'm going to go out and just throw them some. They have a little handful of this every so often, which I throw into their coop as a little treat. Now we are heading out to the greenhouse to do some watering. It is exceptionally blustery today. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but you know that Ali caught our bees wild. Well, they are the grumpiest bees you have ever known. Like they're constantly having a go at me. They chase me out of the garden all the time. And right now, there's some grumpy ones in here at the moment. It makes it impossible, but we love them, obviously. But they're just the grumpiest bees you've ever known. Well, I think now it's to put this side of my existence to one side. Honestly, it blows my mind. Who'd have thought I'd have spent the start of my weekend walking the dogs, feeding the chickens, cooking my chicken eggs and watering my kitchen garden. This is just, wow. It just goes to show, doesn't it? It just goes to show that everything you think that you want in life is often the complete opposite. How weird is that? But I'm still gonna do the glamorous things. And these are what I always talk about in terms of like the sprinkles on the cupcake. It's just doing these things with my team and like getting to go to the ballet and being invited to do so and film and capture it for you guys is just spectacular. So I'm gonna jump in the shower because this is not a good look. I'm getting my extensions taken out on Monday and yeah, let's do it. Okay, we have settled on this outfit for the ballet because I've only worn this once. I wore it to Epsom Derby with Aston Martin and I was so ill on the way home that I felt like I didn't really get to enjoy it, so I'm wearing it this evening. We are heading to the Paris Opera Ballet in Wiltshire, so it's a bit of a journey and we are so excited. We're going as a team, which is just wonderful. There's food, there's picnics, and then I believe there's 3 performances of the ballet as well, which is going to be stunning. It's at a place called Hatch House. I'll pop all of the details in the description box down below, but I am incredibly excited to take you with me and show you. It's so wonderful to be able to share this with you. I think that's the thing I'm most excited about. So outfit of the evening is my Lady Dior. And I've got practical shoes because it's in the gardens of Hatch House, so it's really going to be the most beautiful experience. I can't wait. So yes, practical shoes in my Valentino rock studs. We are toasting to the book on the car down and I better get going because otherwise I'm going to make us all late, so I need to grab my phone and jump in the car. Go team, go team. This is how we do it with red cups. Oh my gosh, that's like a pint of champagne.
It's all bubbles.
Oh, okay. It's been 84 years. We have actually been in the car for 3 hours. And I just looked out the front window and I was like, is that Stonehenge? Not thinking that it was actually Stonehenge, because you know that there's...
Stonehenge, sign there.
Is there? Where? Oh,
is
that
what it was, really? Yeah.
Not thinking it's actually Stonehenge, because there's those rollright stones that look like Stonehenge, but they're like not.
They're near us.
Yeah, I know, but it's actually I've never.
3 hours.
I know. So where in the world are we right now? I thought we were going to Wiltshire.
We are.
So where is Wiltshire? I thought Wiltshire was.
Cotswolds. Keep going towards Wales and then go down.
We're going to be by the sea soon.
No.
No, we're not going by the sea.
Satin has no idea where we are.
It's fairly near the sea.
So we are going to the sea.
We're going
Sorry,
north Wiltshire.
so I was going to Dorset and I saw all this here.
This is just showing you how bumpy this is. It's very beautiful house though. Yeah, wow. Hello! We made it. 84 years later. It's been 84 years, sweetie. It's been 84 years. We have arrived to Hatch House and it was a much longer journey than I think we were planning for. I think we've been in the car for about 3 hours, so I thought it was going to be just under 2 hours, but everyone is suited and booted. Everyone looks so lovely and there's so many like black tie and beautifulness, but they have just rang the bell, so we're gonna have to sit down and start our dinner, which I'm looking forward to because we've been eating crisps in the car because we were like, are we having dinner? We are having dinner, but it's a lot longer than we thought. So we're gonna find our seats and we're here in the beautiful gardens here, like, oh my gosh, so beautiful. So let's head to our seats.
If you don't know about it, support it. It's a fabulous thing. He's doing fabulous things, so give him a big round of applause as well.
beautiful is this? Oh my goodness. Good morning everyone. It is Sunday and I am up. The sun is shining, however it's been the most like bizarre weather day. It literally just poured down, which is good for the garden. I love it when it's like intermittent bursts of sunshine and rain, because the garden just goes, oh my gosh, like thank you. So yes, even though our lawn needs mowing massively, and I probably need to do a little bit of work in the garden, because I was just thinking as I was working on something, I should probably vlog this, because even though this is very much like me time, this is where I go around the house and kind of care for my plants, especially when I've not had the time to do it. So today is a day where I just get to like take care of things. I want to organize the house, clear any flowers. I have some flowers that have died that were given to me by the Elizabeth Arden team. I need to water plants, and what I'm doing at the moment, and please bear with me, I'm getting to doing the dishwasher and things like that, is I'm caring for the plant in the living room. So I was looking at it and I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's like dying and things like that. But really this is a prime example of a plant that's actually doing well, but hasn't been cared for, because I've been clearing all of the debris and it still has so much life in it. There's so many like flowers and buds coming through that I just need to give it a bit of a trim back, get rid of any of the bits that have died and dead flowers, and just that usual TLC, just a simple deadheading exercise, which I know you guys enjoyed last time. So I thought I'd share this with you, and I'm going to carry on and finish off this plant and pop it back in its place. Now the thing I know is that this is probably like, it goes against the usual things that you show. Like you always want to show that you're an expert at something. However, if you watch Gardener's World, you'll notice that Monty Don and people on there, they often share when they've had like a failing in their garden, and I really appreciate that, because I feel like there's often this expectation, or just like this need to show that you've always got it right and you've always got it figured out. And actually sometimes there's, you know, you failed, or you've done something wrong, or it's not worked, you've not done your research. And I think that that's the thing in gardening as well. And the reality is that sometimes we've got more to learn. In fact, more often than not, we've got more to learn. But I know that I find it very comforting when Monty Don shares that he planted a plant and it didn't do well there. I'm like, well, if Monty Don can't get it right, then there's definitely a safe space for all of us there. So yes. It's funny though, because I feel like I have the next hurdle of this book to sort of tackle, which now obviously the launch is out of the way, and the next thing is the voiceover for the audiobook. I really thought I made that clear in the announcement as well, but maybe I didn't. But yes, of course I am going to be recording the audiobook myself. I had to, but the only thing that I'm worried about is there's one particular chapter, which is Autumn, and it's probably my favorite chapter in the entire book, but it's also the hardest chapter for me to read, and it was the hardest chapter to write, and I honestly like don't know how I'm going to get through. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I just don't know how I'm going to do it, and so that's my next hurdle. I don't know if practicing is going to mean that when it comes to the day I'll be okay. I honestly just don't know. But yeah, that's my next hurdle with the process of being an author, which is just so exciting. And obviously I'm just hugely grateful to so many of you for pre-ordering my book, and that so many of you were like, Lydia, I did exactly what you said. I ordered the audiobook and I ordered the actual physical book. I was like, we are such kindred spirits. But yes, I'm very excited as well. I'm excited. I just think it's going to be like, it's just going to be difficult, this part, and hopefully I'll be able to take you along for the ride, so you'll at least be able to see if I make it through. But yeah, when I've read it to myself, I'm just, even when we were going through like the edits with editors and things like that, when I've read it through, I just couldn't get through it. Like I had to take a break and compose myself, because it is so like honest and probably the most vulnerable I've ever been. And vulnerability for me is something that I do lean into and I am okay with, but with people that are close to me, it's not been the easiest thing to be as vulnerable as I am naturally, but also do that on the internet. So that's, I think, where I've struggled the most. But yeah, hugely exciting, gosh. #1 bestseller on Amazon, like I can't quite believe it. There we go. Give it some water, pop it back on. I am now giving my outside pots a bit of a refresh as well. I've just taken off all of the sort of yellowing leads of the geraniums and deadheaded them. I am now deadheading the bacopa, which basically they're little flowers like this, just go brown, and they're generally quite crispy, so you can just pick them off and they should get back lots of other flowers. Now, I probably don't do this enough for that to happen. Lots of buzzy bumblebees. Paid actor? Oh my goodness me. He's like, get off my nectar. Yes, but this bowl has been such a triumph. Just having it here, getting more and more sort of wild and wonderful, with these angel vines coming down, and it just looks really lovely. I've actually really enjoyed this one, and I've also enjoyed looking after it as well. So yes, just a little bit of maintenance on here to give it a fresh look, and also another chance. Oh, a little flower coming off there. As you can see, the weather has somewhat changed, and we have the heavens looking like they're about to open. But I think that should do the trick for now on here. Jug is filling up. I'm having the weirdest weekend whereby I want to vlog, but I'm doing so much that like I can't really do it at the same time. So I'm just picking up my camera whenever I'm having moments that I feel like, oh my god, I really need to share this with them. First and foremost, I've gone down to the chickens this morning and there was 2 eggs. So that is definitely enough for me to have some lunch today. I'm definitely going to have the scrambled eggs again. I'm looking forward to having more. I've got these weird bits of my hair that are sticking up because I've not even showered. I've been organising downstairs. I've been getting my bookcases full of books and just getting things that are all sporadic sorted. And now that my books are done, I will take you down there and show you them. Obviously the office hasn't changed at all, but other than the bookcases. But I then started clearing out my pyjama cupboard because I've got so many like pyjamas that have shrunk, that have got holes in, that are no longer like wearable. So I was having a big clear out of that. And basically I found this basket behind like a big pile of pyjamas that I needed to sort through. And I started just piling stuff on top of this basket, and I was like, no, you need to go through that basket, Lydia, because otherwise you're just keeping clutter, and you need to obviously have an organise. That's what you're doing today now, apparently. And in there was basically like a shrine to 2020 for me. I mean, there's not a lot in there, but it was such a moment. Here, you can see that I am organising pyjamas. I'm just going to pop you on this shelf here. I haven't even opened the curtains yet. I found some cosy socks that were in there, and I was like, oh, they'll come in useful. And then I found this. This is Practicing the Power of Now. So this is probably one of like the first sort of walk that I took into like looking into happiness and things like that. I mean, I'd listened to, one of my favourite books is The Sweet Spot, which is obviously like more about living life effectively, and it's more of like a productivity, I would say, but there's definitely things in there that help, and it's still one of my favourite books. But my brother read this and it really helped my brother. This is obviously the practicing of it and not the actual The Power of Now. So I'm guessing a little more condensed and a bit more proactive. I then found a diary, and then I found a 2020 journal, and this was something that I tried to do because obviously I've spoken about it. I think I've mentioned it in this video, but if I didn't, I'm trying to do more gratitude journaling. Not because I'm like not in a good place, but it's one of those things that I think that everybody, like any person that you see talking about happiness, that's what they do. Gratitude journaling is one of the things that like keeps their mind in the right headspace. And I thought to myself, I do so much to keep myself in this space. I need to stick at that, because also it's just fantastic to look back on as well. And I'm like experiencing that moment now. And I actually can't believe that I even did this. This is just wild to me. Also in here is obviously my, the little, like, I don't know what they're called, like the memorial papers of my nonno when he died in January 2021, which, oh gosh. Anyway, so this journal is like, I just have to read you these 3 pages, because if you're someone that you're like in a spot at the moment and you're just not, like, you're not good and you really are just like putting one foot in front of the other, I'm going to read you these. Now, these aren't the worst. I'm sure I can find worse than this in here. Sunday, September the 6th, 2020. Today I felt amazing, just super chilled, and I laughed loads, which is how I remember life before all this shit. Pardon my French. I felt relaxed and unpanicked. It was amazing going for a 20 kilometre hike around where I live on one of the last days of summer. The weather was perfect except for a shower when we made our last pit stop at the navigation. I felt calm. I didn't really feel like anything needed addressing today, and it can wait, which was nice. I'm hoping to change my life tomorrow and really step things up a notch. Oh my gosh, this makes me emotional. With getting my mental health in check. Journaling is part of that, so wish me luck. Monday, September the 7th. It's the Labour Day, and that was Labour Day in America. Today was a good day, probably the best day I've had in a long time. I was awake at 5:30 AM despite not sleeping great for the entire night. I got up and ran for the first time in weeks, and the morning sunrise did not disappoint. The sky was subtly pink, and then there was the first frost with a bite in the air. I also smashed my to-do list, with all content approved without amends. I'm missing Ali, but snuggled in bed with Lumi, optimistic for the week ahead. Tomorrow I have a meeting with Karen Millen, and it's an important one. Tuesday, September the 8th, 2020. Today was an interesting one. I slept through my alarm, but I still woke up positive. I went down to London and ended up buying a bag, which actually didn't make me feel that great, to be honest. I'd rather have spent that money on the house. Not really sure why I did it. Oh well. I also had my meeting with Karen Millen, and I can't get over how excited I am for this campaign. When I got home, Lumi had been sick on the bed and went missing for 8 hours. It definitely made me panic, but she's now asleep in front of me. Oh my god, it's gonna make me cry. I love her so much, it hurts. I also miss Ali, and I think she does too. So I don't know if you remember, but that was around the time that Lumi got super ill, and it's like, the moment that Lumi got super ill, I stopped journaling very clearly. But it's just so fascinating for me to be in the position where I am now. It's just such an interesting thing that you can see how far you can come. Like, I was literally just putting one foot in front of the other, taking each day as it comes. I don't know if there's any more in here that I can read to you. There's a few little pigeony flips, I think. So this must have been February the 11th, 2021, I think. Was it before COVID or was it after COVID? Yeah, it was. So this was before COVID. It's so weird how all the things you think will be amazing usually end up being a bit of a disappointment. Today I was on a panel which I think normally is one of those career highlights. Perhaps it's not just my kind of highlight. It was all a bit weird. I also started Invisalign today and can barely talk, but it will be worth it in the end. Wednesday, February the 12th. My first ever magazine editorial shoot happened today at my home for Stella magazine. I was very overwhelmed and panicked about how unworthy my house was of being featured the entire time. Thursday, February the 13th. I was exhausted today. It took a lot to get me up and get my work done. I'm worried I've lost my mojo a bit, as I've not worked out since my trip to Courchevel, and I'm really lacking in motivation. I'm going to try to have a reset over the week and start back strong on Monday. Honestly, this is fascinating to me. This is just such a wonderful, like, it's such a wonderful thing to have, because I talk about so many of this in my book, and even this is just so important. I feel like I want to frame this. Anyway, so weird that this is like a little basket of previous me, and I was doing so much and I was so unhappy because I wasn't able to find the happiness in my life. And this is what I was saying to my mum yesterday, because my mum was really kind of down in the dumps about something with work. And I said to her, I was like, Mum, I know that you're down in the dumps now, and obviously I understand that, and you've got to feel that like emotion without being too woo. What's happened is most likely going to be a catalyst for change in your life, because genuinely, and I say this so much, but the moments that I felt like I was going to like just disintegrate under the pressure have been the most incredible moments of my life, because I would not be as happy as I am now had I not had to go to the sad and horrible places that I've experienced, because I wasn't aware of just how much happiness there was around me. And so I feel like this is like such an important thing, because I know I talk about like the nice things, the sprinkles on the cupcakes, and there's those, you know, everybody likes nice things, and a lot of the time they're just kind of markers for where you are in your life. But it's not those that cultivate happiness. And I know I always say this, and there'll be people in the comments that will say it's all right for you to say because you can do it. But if you listen to the people when they're saying it, for those people, I know most of you already know this, but if you listen to someone when they're saying this to you, it will save you wasting time striving for something that isn't going to answer all your problems. You're like way ahead with if someone's told you that, because you're way ahead of all the people that are still chasing those things. They're still chasing the bags, the Birkins, whatever. I always think to myself, I'm like, oh, it's really nice that I've got Birkins, but I'd just carry a basket like Jane Birkin. And so if you really like listen to people and take that on board, that I am telling you that the Birkins and the bags, they're like excitement. They're not happiness, they're excitement. They give you little things of excitement, but it's the things that you don't expect to make you happy that are the things that make you the happiest. And that's basically what my lesson has been throughout all of this. So anyway, I'm going to keep organising, but I'm having a huge, like, honestly, this is cleansing my soul. Just getting all of my pyjamas sorted, getting rid of all of the old stuff. It's just fantastic. But I had to share that with you, because it's so funny when you find something that you didn't even know you still had, and yet there it is. And you get to go back 3 years and almost go back to that point of where you are. And it just, yeah, blows my mind. Wow, wow, wow. Anyway, hopefully when you next see me, I'll be nice and dressed. I honestly can't cope with these boys. So I've been moving some things out just to put them somewhere else, because my coat cupboard is a little bit overrun, and I popped these on the floor, and lo and behold, these two think it's their newest bed. Honestly. You are just too special. You had a bath yesterday as well, in preparation for Daddy coming home. When you get this little paw under your ear. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness me. I had planned to do a lot more outside of the house than I have done. I thought I was going to go to the garden centre. I thought I was going to clean out the chicken coop. I thought that there was so many things that I was going to do, and the rain has scuppered those plans. However, I've been so productive in like other areas, and I think that this is one of the things that I have to like remind myself, and this is something that sorry to keep going on about my book, but you know when you've not been able to talk about something for so long, but one of the most important sort of things that I cover is like accepting the weather for what it is, and that is what I've done today in terms of I've not left the house. I've used this opportunity to be cozy. I'm in this really lovely and cozy lily silk button-up cardigan with just some like navy leggings on and a little cami. I've not done my makeup, I've not done my hair, and I've been so productive. Like organisation is on point today, and my house smells incredible. I had a huge clear out of the like cleaning cupboard, and I found this, which has literally like never been used, and it's in the fragrance Apple Blossom. This is the Flash Sparkling Home Spray Wipe done antibacterial. I've been using this on all of the surfaces. It smells incredible. And then I've been refreshing all of like the blinds, curtains, sofas, cushions with this, and it's so good. And actually with this as well, I've been spraying it down the toilets so that it smells nice down there. And it's so funny, there's nothing quite like a clean when you do it yourself. Like, I don't know whether it's just me, but oh, everything just feels squeaky and nice. I can safely say that the laundry room has not looked like this for a very, very long time. I've had a real organise of vases. I've got the chicken grain into a little canister at the top so we can just like scoop it out and give it to them when they need it. That's not their food, that's kind of like a treat for them, and I've ordered some little scoops as well. Some Astia Velat bits on display. I'm doing the washing. It smells incredible. I've washed all my tea towels. Oh, feels so good. I've organised the pet food cupboard, and it's so funny. I have so many vases, it's ridiculous. And I was thinking I need to get rid of some of my vases. And then I had this bright idea to actually use them for Lumi's kibble. And then this is a little pet dispenser thing. So I've put all of the boys' treats in there. These are their training treats that we use, which have been incredible. These are the salmon ones that we use, the wild salmon. They're so good, and I break them up so that they're even smaller than this. But I ordered bulk loads of those. I've decanted Lumi's food into baskets. Bless you. There we go, looking a little bit better in there as well. I've organised the boot room area as well. Oh my gosh, it's been such a day. All of my shoes and all of my wellies. Literally, it is a Holland Cooper shrine in here. I've got everything hung up nicely. I've got running gear in there. I've got bits and pieces in there. I think that's even a spare one. Walking boots, trainers, gardening shoes, and then bits for produce is at the bottom down there. So like any punnets and bottles and little canisters. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. Even in here, this is our little storage cupboard. You can't really see because I've put the steps in there, but even just using more vases to decant like dishwasher tabs and things like that into the vases, and then our little dusters, they've gone into this big vase, just using them instead of thinking why have I got so many and stacking them up. I'm actually using them for storage, which has been super, super helpful. One of the things that I wanted to replace was this bucket. Obviously, plants don't last forever inside, especially floral ones. They often reach their sort of end, but I don't think that this was the right container for these particular flowers. So I'm going to give them a bit of a refresh at some point when I get to go to the garden centre. That was the whole aim of me going. But I've got candles lit on every surface. We've got geranium from Diptyque in here. We've got a fresh cake. The eggs are still here because I didn't have them for lunch. I finished off the lasagna that my mum made. Another candle on in there. Then in the living room, I actually bought this the other day. I bought this easel, and it's actually, look, it just looks perfect there. I've popped one of my art pieces from Time that I picked up when I visited them a few years ago, and it fits perfectly on the easel. So that's really lovely. I got this for like, I think it was like 20 quid in the antique shop at the Bell Plantation where we live, and it's perfect. Then we've got a little candle on in here as well, some books. Oh, I haven't like zhuzhed the sofas because I'm trying not to zhuzh them so much and just a little bit lived in. I don't want it to look like a show home. So yeah, plump cushions. Oh, we have a little angel puffin at the window. Come on in. She's coming in backwards. Hello. You're a little bit soggy out there, my love. Little bit soggy, woo. Goodness me, soggy moo-moo. Oh yes, big purrs, big purrs. I'm thinking as the evening progresses, I will light the fire because honestly, it is so wet out there. You just don't get to have cozy evenings by the fire in summer. So when the weather is like this, I try and just lean into it a little bit. In my office, I have had a big clear out as well. The girls need to sort out the desk, but I finally have most of my books on bookshelves. And do you know what this means? I have a whole bookshelf that I can fill with books still. When this room is painted, it's going to be a lot more cozier and just a bit more, I don't know, rich. And these bookshelves with all of the books, I think it's just going to feel really lovely. So I actually found a book that I wanted to read. Which one was it? The Light Behind the Window. I need to... Skylark's Secret. It's so lovely having everything on display because I'm able to come and just choose what book I want to read. Although most of them I've read. Where is the one that I saw? Oh, The Rose Garden. Is it that one? It's one of these two. But it's so lovely having everything on display like this. Oh my gosh. So perfect to just be able to pick out a book to read. I think I'm going to do an Amazon order this evening of some books. Obviously, I've ordered my own book, so my own book will be sitting on these shelves. I've also got loads of other people's books on here that I love. So Melanie Murphy, I've got Andrew Timothy O'Brien's book, who I just love. I've got Paula Sutton's book. Where is he? Little Monty Don there as well. I also have some more exciting news. I've had a clear out of our puppy cupboard because I get sent a lot of things for doggies and I can't try them all. And we have 2 new doggies joining the team. Yes, excitingly, we have a Cocker Spaniel joining the team and we also have a German Shepherd joining the team. They're both girls and I think they both arrive next week. So I've cleared out some treats, some wipes, some shampoo, some leads, things like that for them. Obviously a German Shepherd is going to be a bit of a leap in our house. However, we want to make sure that Darcy and Tatty settle in well. So they're just going to get acquainted with the boys from an early age so that they all play together, so that they all get on. And it's so exciting. And this for me is very much like... this keeps my heart like full. Ali said to me the other day, he was like, I was talking to a friend and they said that the worst decision they made was getting a 3rd dog because it's just too difficult to walk them. It's a really difficult thing. It's like a step in a different direction when you get 3 dogs. And I was like, babe, do you know what? I'm so happy with Porty and Barkley. I know I always joke about getting more sausage dogs, but when Bolly's here, when Tatty's here, when Darcy's here, it's just going to be a full house with Lumi as well and with the chickens. I think that maybe that's enough. I don't think we can take much more than that, to be honest, but yes. So obviously the pups will be mostly down here for the beginning, just so that they settle in, they learn to stay within the perimeters of the house and that kind of thing. But yes, so bookshelf organisation has been done in terms of I've just thrown the books up there, but I am going to take these 2 books upstairs and try and start reading these, and I'm going to do a big order as well. The house is ready for Ali to come home. He says he'll be home about 8:15. So I'm going to head into the garden to get some courgettes to make some courgette pasta. It's still raining, so I'm going to have to quickly run out there, grab some courgettes and run back. And I'm going to prep all of the ingredients, and then when he gets back I can start cooking basically. The house feels really nice, so I could stop and continue another day, but yeah, I'm really pleased. Everything is just, it feels so nice and clean and lovely. I've got 2 lovely small courgettes, which I'm going to slice into really thin, sort of almost like spaghetti, but a bit thin, a bit thicker, and mix it in with the pasta. So they're going to stay completely sort of this size. But I'm going to get those prepped now. Now, the recipe is a Jamie Oliver recipe, and it's like the simplest courgette pasta recipe I think I've ever found. And I've not made it before, so this is a first. I'm making it because we don't have any cream cheese, and I usually use cream cheese to make like a creamy pasta. But this one is just courgettes and lemon and olive oil and parmesan. So super simple, but I also need some mint leaves, and I forgot to get the mint leaves in the garden, so I'm gonna have to brave it in the rain again. But I also, it says that you should use different colours, and I actually used 2 of my green ones, but I remembered that Irene gave me one of her yellow ones, so a little bit extra courgette for this dish, but honestly, the more the merrier. Well, I often forget to show you the dish, and I think I'm not really in the business of presentation, but I am in the business of taste, and I feel like that's what matters because we're not running a restaurant. And this is delicious, super easy, kind of fresh as well, but I love the touch of parmesan to it. Oh, and just the fact that they're homegrown with homegrown herbs, it just doesn't get any better.